Highly Ho students, Mr. Kaczynski with you. Checkup C, standard 3A solutions. This is problems number 1 through 7. Take notes over these and you'll be eligible for a retake of a different version of this checkup. Here we go. First thing, we're going to figure out the rate of change for this relationship. So I guess the thing I would notice here is that this is an increase of 1 right here. And this is a decrease of 4. That's why the rate of change is -4. Okay, even if you look elsewhere, like this is a decrease of 12, and this is an increase of 3. -12 divided by 3, is still -4. All right, find the output value that corresponds to an input value of 0. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to zoom in a little bit, I think. I'm going to zoom in on this part of the table. I'm going to do a little horizontal table here, x and y. All right, so when x is -3, we know y is 17. -2, we don't have an output. -1, we don't have an output. 0, we don't have an output, but that's the output I'm looking for. 1, we don't have an output. And 2, we have an output of -3. All right, so we know the slope is, or the rate of change is -4. That means every time x goes up 1, that y is going to go down 4. So in that pace, that will continue. All right, so 17 minus 4 is 13. 13 minus 4 is 9. 9 minus 4 is 5. 5 minus 4 is 1, and 1 minus 4 is -3, and that's why our answer to this is 5. So 5 is the output that goes with 0. Use your results from 1 and 2 to write an equation in intercept form. All right. It's going to be y equals our y-intercept, 5, minus 4 times x. That's our equation. And what we can do with a graphing calculator is we can actually go to y equals. We can type that equation, y minus 4 times x, or 5 minus 4 times x. We can go second graph. That'll give us a table. And we can check these inputs. -4 with 21, yep. -3 and 17. 2 and -3. 5 and -15, and of course 10 and -35. So it looks like we got everything right. Moving on here. All right, this table shows another input-output relationship, basically the same idea here. To figure out the slope, we could do -1 minus 4. That's our change in y, over -3 minus -8, or -3 plus 8. That would give us -5 over 5. And we always want to simplify that. So that's a slope of -1. Slope of -1. The output value that corresponds to an input value of 0. I could do a table like I did above. I think I'll do it algebraically this time. Not sure that we did this too much in class. I think the table kind of makes sense, but I think we did do it a couple times. I'm going to do, I need some more room, I believe. So we know that the equation is y equals, of any linear equation, is a plus b times x, where x is our independent variable, y is our dependent variable, a is our starting point or y-intercept, and b is our slope. So we're given lots of x and y values. I'll use 2 and -6. 2 and -6. So I'm going to put -6 in for y. We're trying to figure out what that a value is. We know that slope is -1. And the x value that goes with the y value of -6 is 2. All right, so I'm going to multiply a little bit here. -1 times 2, that's like -2. And then I'll just add 2 to both sides of this equation, and I get that a is negative 6 plus 2 is negative 4. Okay, so that's our y value. So if you zoom into this table and let's see, we know our slope is negative 1. So if we take negative 1, well, let's just zoom in. Negative 2 would be negative 2. Negative 1 would be negative 3. 0 would be negative 4. And 1 would be negative 5. And then that gets us to 2, negative 6. So there's that negative 4 again. All right, what is that number called? That is called a y-intercept. And use our results to write an equation again. All right, no problem. Same thing as before. Y equals negative 4. Instead of minus 1x, how about we just put minus x, because subtracting 1x is just subtracting x. So there's the easiest way to write that equation. Y equals negative 4 minus x. Again, we can graph this, or I'm sorry, look at a table, y minus x, or negative 4 minus x rather. Go to the table. We can see when we have an input of negative 8, we get an output of 4. Negative 3 gives us negative 1. 2 gives us negative 6. 7 gives us negative 11. And 12 gives us negative 16. All right, so that's it for the first standard. Again, if you have completed notes over this and your necessary homework turned in, you would be eligible for a retake. All right, hopefully that helps, and have a good one.